This week on Split Screen, a Mainer you know, General Bill Libby. His military career has spanned 4 decades, many of them leading Maine's National Guard. We'll talk to General Libby about his impressive career and his love for everything Maine. And the Wreaths Across America escort to Arlington will soon get underway. We'll introduce you to the man who is responsible for coordinating this massive undertaking. John O'Leary, a Mainer you should know. General Bill Libby's commitment to country, state, and community is unwavering. So is his love for his family and his passion for hockey, a love he passed down to his 3 sons, especially his youngest, Jeff, who played professionally and now coaches the Portland Junior Pirates. Do you skate regularly still?
No.
No.
It's been a couple of years since I actually.
It has?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So you won't show me up out there?
No way. Now Jeff will show us up.
General, you got any fancy footwork? Got any moves? You want to show me?
I have no moves.
You have no moves?
No moves.
Oh, I don't know about that. Is that true? He has no moves?
On
Dad
the
has
ice?
some moves, yeah.
Yeah, wait till you're my age.
Yeah. I've never really had any moves either. Keep it simple.
Sometimes I think that's the best, right?
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Sure is.
I don't know, General, I think it's pretty impressive you're still out here skating. How old are you now?
70
You'll tell
this
me.
Christmas.
Is he, how old?
He'll be
Careful,
70 on
careful.
Christmas.
70? 70 years old, you're still out here.
What's that?
You're 70 years old and you're still out here playing a great game of hockey.
I'm not 70.
70!
Not yet.
Not yet, almost.
Yeah, couple days.
Couple day Christmas, baby. It's amazing how quick little kids learn though, and how they pick up on the skills very quickly.
Yeah, it's the youngest kids I think are the funnest, are the best to coach.
Are they?
Because they're just sponges. They go out there and just, they're all over the place, so they're kind of very entertaining at the same time. But to see them actually pick it up is just, very rewarding.
Oh, I bet, especially when it's your own, when
Yeah.
it's your own kids. Yeah, it's great. What's the number one thing you teach them when you're out there?
Number one thing to teach them, well, when you get to the real young ages, the first thing you have to teach them is how to get up. Because you don't want every kid that falls down to be down the whole time, right? So you'll spend your whole time on the ice picking kids up and getting them back up. So when they walk through that door, we teach them. We have a learn to skate program on Saturday mornings. As soon as they come through that door, there's a station right here. It's how to get up.
Oh, that's great. Most important.
Yeah, can you put Shannon through that station first?
Nice, General. Oh yeah, really?
Don't fall. That's my advice.
Is it nice, the father and son, to play a little pickup hockey?
It's been many, many, many years. Yeah.
I think it's great. Did you guys play a lot together on the
In the
rink in the yard?
backyard, yeah.
Did you? What was that
I was
like?
actually, for a year, I was an assistant coach at Waterville High School. And I used to bring the guys up one at a time to practices. And,
I remember that.
but we had the rink in the backyard, and the bad part was they wouldn't shovel.
Really?
I remember that.
And
You're
if you,
denying
and if
your-
you spoke to Cindy, she'd tell you every time I left in January, the January thaw would occur, and the rink would end up in the basement.
Oh,
The rink was not,
no.
the backyard was sloped inappropriately. So
It was all worth it though, right?
it was a good time.
Yeah.
I realize now that I'm older why you built the rink is because there's 3 boys and they wanted us out of the house.
I can appreciate that.
There's a second thing though. You were out of the house, but you were in the yard.
That's true.
And we had New Year's parties and skating parties. They invite friends over, and we went to the rubber puck after 9 o'clock at night, so not to disturb the
Right.
neighbors. But I think the lights and music did it anyway.
Probably. There's nothing like that sound though, right? Of the puck, of hitting the puck.
Oh, what there's really nothing like is the smell of the equipment.
Oh, please. I can't get used to that. It lasts for days. It follows you everywhere.
It does, it does.
Coming up, General Bill Libby talks about some of the highs and lows of being Maine's top soldier. So we were in the penalty box. This is
We
a
are.
familiar place for
It
you,
is.
General?
It was when I was in high school, yeah. Spent a lot of time in the penalty box.
What is it about hockey that you love?
The speed of the game, the flow of the game. I grew up in Lewiston, French Catholic community, and in Lewiston we used to say if you can't skate, you're nobody. So, you know, it was just the environment that I grew up in. It played in the neighborhoods. Police Athletic League had a number of rinks around the city, and in the wintertime your life revolved around that. My father owned a radio station, was a sports announcer, did the Bruins for a couple of years on the radio, and he used to broadcast the Bates Fabric games in Lewiston, an old semi-pro team. So I spent a lot of time in rinks, and I just love the speed of the game and the flow of the game. No whistles, no talking in a little circle about what you're going to do next. You just have to go out and do it on the fly.
You just do it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. You're a true Mainer through and through. What do you love about this state?
The people. I just love the people. I love the work ethic. I love the independence. I love the seasons. And I just love the geography of the state. I mean, you got the mountains, you've got the lakes, beautiful coast. There isn't a better place to be.
And I think you truly epitomize what a Mainer is. I really do. You've had a tremendous career. Let's talk a little bit about that. Your time in the United States Army, you are a veteran. You volunteered for Vietnam. You know, there are a lot of people, it's commendable when you're ordered to go serve your country. You volunteered to put yourself in harm's way. Why?
Well, I was on active duty at the time. I wanted to make a career out of the military, and frankly, it was one of the blocks that you had to check on the form, you know, being in a combat environment. So I was down at Fort Hood, Texas, watching guys come back, listening to their stories, and I decided it was something I needed to do. It was a selfish motivation also, because in volunteering, I could pick the unit that I went to, and I wanted to go to the 1st Cavalry Division, which was the 1st Air Mobile Division, helicopter-based. It was cutting-edge technology in those days, and so I decided it was the right thing to do. Cindy might argue with my decision, but it was something I did and something I don't regret looking back on.
And talk about that. Cindy, obviously your beautiful wife, you met her at UMaine.
We did, yeah.
And she supported you, obviously, in that decision.
You know, she had my back for 44 years when I was in the military, and you know, we like to say in the military that the strength of the military is its soldiers, but the strength of the soldiers are their families, and it's true in the Libby family and true in every military family. It was the edge.
You came back to Maine, you did a number of things, but it wasn't long before you joined the Maine Army National Guard. Did you miss it? Did you need to get back into the military?
True story. I'm an instructor at Freiburg Academy and the dean of students, and I looked at my first paycheck and said to Cindy, I need to find a part-time job and join the Maine National Guard. And you know, the rest, as they say, is history. I missed the camaraderie. Probably would have got back to the Guard anyway, but that's a true story.
Wow. Did you think, though? I mean, 33 years, right, in the Maine National Guard. Yeah. It's a long time. That you would, you know, spend that many decades there, and then to become the Adjutant General. Did you think that would happen?
Oh, never. I mean, when I graduated from Orono and got commissioned, I had a notion that I would spend my 4 years on active duty, get out, teach school and coach, and I got bit by the brotherhood thing. And I just enjoyed what I was doing. The decision to get off active duty and come back to Maine was based around the fact that we wanted our kids to grow up somewhere. I used to think it was romantic to listen to kids say, I'm an Army brat. I didn't grow up anywhere. And once we lived the life, I knew we wanted our kids to grow up somewhere. So we got out, came back to Maine, but couldn't get the military out of the blood.
And I think there's something to that. Like you said, it's the brotherhood, it's that bond, it's serving. And I think that that's in your blood, serving. You've served your country, you served our state, you served your community. You were also director of MEMA, Maine Emergency Management Agency, for 5 years. And at the helm during what, one of the biggest crises Maine has seen as far as the ice storm?
Yep, it was a great time.
What was that like?
I remember to this day, Governor King at the time saying, hey, you know, if we all look to our left and look to our right and take care of those two people, everybody's taken care of. And that's what this state is all about.
Or also the Adjutant General, though, during a time that I'm sure, you know, you didn't expect that was going to happen when you had 4,000 men and women that were being deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq during those operations. What was that like to be the Adjutant General at that time?
Sweet and sour, good and bad. Let me talk about the good. I mean, tremendous public support in the state of Maine. I'm a Vietnam guy. We didn't have tremendous public support, so that was so gratifying to see the general public get behind these young men and women. Money was falling off trees so we could support them and their families. I've often said to people, I was the adjutant general at the best possible time because of the support and the funding that was available to us. And Jim Campbell, who followed me and is currently there, might be the adjutant general at the worst possible time in terms of those two things. Difficult to send young men and women into harm's way, but something that we've got to keep in mind. They're all volunteers. And many of those people joined because they wanted to have an opportunity to defend their country.
But as you said, the outpouring of support people had, and you being at the helm, I think was great for many people. You're a great leader. You always have been, and I think people, they see that, you know. You're all about integrity and character and honor. And when you speak to people, I know you speak to young people, you know, today, what is your message that you want to get out to them?
Get involved. I mean, you said it without having me say anything to you about it. When my father died, they wrote in his obituary, he served his nation, his state, and his community. And I say to young men and women all the time when I get the opportunity, I speak to the Boys State group every year about leadership. If when you get ready to pass, people can say that about you, there's nothing else they need to say. It's all about service. It's all about serving your country. And I don't mean in the military, but serving your country in some fashion, serving your state and serving your community, taking care of others. That gets back to the ethos that the governor had during the ice storm. Look left, look right, take care of those people. We're all taken care of.
What's the legacy you want to leave?
Service to his state, service to his community, service to his country. That's what I want people to know. I used to say when people got ready to introduce me, hey, there are just a couple of things you need to tell them about me. He was born in Lewiston, Maine on Christmas Day, and I won't tell you when, decades ago.
We'll leave that out. That's fine.
Went to the University of Maine and got his commission there. That's all people need to know about me. I'm from here. And
it speaks volumes.
Thank you.
It does. To save, you know, some serious questions to the end. Celebrity crush. Who is it?
I don't have any crushes on celebrities.
No celebrity crush.
Okay,
Come on, there's got to be somebody.
Carrie Underwood.
See, that's a good celebrity crush. All right, growing up, car you wish you had, favorite car. What was the car?
Corvette.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, always wanted a Corvette, never owned a Corvette.
My dad, same thing. Wonder if it was a generational thing.
I think it was,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take one today if you gave
No.
one to me.
But back then, though, right? That was the car.
Back in the day,
Back in the day, as they say. All right, place you'd love to go to that you've never been to.
Vancouver, British Columbia.
Really?
I've
Why?
always wanted to go to Vancouver. I don't know why. I mean, it's a gorgeous city. It's on the ocean. It's got the mountains. It's got the whole 9 yards. I've always had a vision of driving to Montreal, putting the car in the train, going out to the Canadian Rockies to Vancouver, and then driving back.
I think you and Cindy got a trip coming up then.
I think we do. Yeah.
I think you do. Your favorite beer?
Oh, Molson Golden.
Did you know the answer to that? Did you know
I
that?
did because we had a dog named Molson.
Are you
It
serious?
was a golden
We
retriever.
did have a
That's your favorite
we
beer?
did have a golden named Molson.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
That's awesome. That's great. That's perfect. General Bill Libby is a man of honor, integrity, and conviction, and has an incredible gift for inspiring people. Undeniably, this state is better because of him. And for our fun fact, what is one of General Libby's favorite hobbies? We'll tell you coming up at the end of the show, but first, he coordinates the Wreaths Across America convoy from Harrington, Maine to Arlington National Cemetery at every stop in between. We'll meet John O'Leary, a Mainer you should know.